You're listening to the Cyberwire Network, powered by N2K.
When it comes to ensuring your company has top-notch security practices, things can get complicated fast. Vanta automates compliance for SOC 2, ISO 27001, HIPAA, and more, saving you time and money. With Vanta, you can streamline security reviews by automating questionnaires and demonstrating your security posture with a customer-facing trust center. Over 7,000 global companies like Atlassian, Flow Health, and Quora use Vanta to manage risk and prove security in real time. Our listeners can claim a special offer of $1,000 off Vanta at vanta.com/cyber. That's VANTA.com/cyber for $1,000 off Vanta. Over 15,000 car dealerships hit the brakes after a software supplier's cyber incident. The EU's chat control gets put on hold. A hacker leaks contact details of over 33,000 Accenture employees. A major forklift manufacturer shuts down operations in the wake of a ransomware attack. IntelBroker claims to have leaked source code from Apple. An investigation questions the ethics of AI firm Perplexity. A radiology practice notifies over 500,000 people of a data breach. Federal contractors pay millions in fines for inadequate cybersecurity during the COVID-19 pandemic. Stolen files from the Kansas City Police Department are posted online. In our Learning Layers segment, Sam Meisenberg and Joe Carrigan continue their discussion of Joe's ISC2 CISSP certification journey. And remembering the work of MIT's Arvind. It's Thursday, June 20th, 2024. I'm Dave Bittner, and this is your Cyberwire Intel Briefing. Thanks for joining us here again today. It is great to have you with us. If you were hoping to purchase a car in the U.S. over the Juneteenth holiday, you may have found yourself disappointed. A cyber incident at CDK Global, a major software provider for car dealerships, halted operations at thousands of dealerships across the U.S. on a busy holiday Wednesday. CDK shut down systems and consulted with experts to address the issue. Core products have been restored, but many applications remain offline. The outage started around 2 a.m. Eastern Time, leaving dealerships unable to perform routine tasks, from scheduling appointments to accessing customer records. Some dealerships resorted to paper records. CDK has not disclosed the cause of the outage. Restoration efforts are ongoing, with some functions back online but not fully operational. The EU Council has withdrawn the vote on Belgium's chat control plan due to a lack of majority support. Belgium's draft law aimed to monitor all chat messages, including those on end-to-end encrypted services, to detect abusive material. Critics argue this could generate false positives and compromise privacy. With Belgium unable to gain support, the proposal is postponed indefinitely. Hungary will take over the Council presidency in July and intends to advance negotiations. Privacy advocates, including Signal's President Meredith Whittaker and NSA whistleblower Edward Snowden, have condemned the plan as mass surveillance. The legislative process will continue after the summer, with intense debates expected. A hacker named 888 has leaked contact details of 33,000 current and former Accenture employees obtained through a third-party breach. The data, posted on breach forums, includes full names and email addresses, but no passwords. Accenture, the global IT and consulting firm based in Dublin, operates in over 120 countries. Hackread.com confirmed the authenticity of the leaked information. 888 is known for previous leaks involving major corporations. Accenture employees are advised to be vigilant against phishing and identity theft scams. A ransomware attack on June 9th shut down Crown Equipment Corporation, the world's fifth-largest forklift manufacturer, halting production and leaving most of its 19,100 employees out of work. Crown, based in New Bremen, Ohio, has advised employees to file for unemployment or take vacation time. The company's website and phone systems are down, and employees have not been paid since June 10th. Poor communication has led to a PR crisis, with employees voicing complaints on social media. The attack reportedly involved a hacker installing a fake VPN and creating a privileged account. The hacker is demanding a $25 million ransom, and the FBI is investigating. Notorious hacker IntelBroker, responsible for previous high-profile breaches, has allegedly leaked source code for several of Apple's internal tools on a dark web forum. IntelBroker claims the June 2024 breach of Apple.com exposed tools, including Apple Connect SSO, an employee authentication system, and two other lesser-known tools. Apple Connect SSO is crucial for employee access to internal systems, akin to an Apple ID. The breach appears to affect only internal systems, not customer data. IntelBroker, known for targeting major organizations like AMD, Zscaler, and AT&T, has posted this information on breach forums. The authenticity of the data is uncertain, but IntelBroker's reputation lends credibility. The FBI is reportedly investigating the incident. Perplexity, an AI search startup backed by investors like Jeff Bezos' family fund and NVIDIA, faces criticism for scraping websites without permission. Despite its claims of transparency, investigations by Wired and developer Rob Knight revealed that Perplexity often ignores the robots exclusion protocol, accessing content from websites that have blocked its crawler. This includes thousands of unauthorized visits to Condé Nast sites. Perplexity's chatbot can summarize articles and generate text based on this scraped data, but like all AI chatbots, sometimes inaccurately and without proper attribution. The startup's practice of using unpublicized IP addresses to evade detection has raised significant ethical concerns. These revelations question the integrity of Perplexity's methods and the reliability of its AI-generated content. A Minnesota-based specialty radiology practice, Consulting Radiologists Limited, is notifying over 500,000 individuals of a data breach that exposed sensitive information earlier this year. The breach, detected on February 12th, involved unauthorized access to CRL's network, compromising names, birth dates, addresses, health insurance information, and medical data. Some patients' social security numbers and driver's license numbers were also affected. CRL discovered the breach through unusual network activity and confirmed the extent of the compromise by April 17th. Despite no evidence of misuse, CRL is offering 12 months of identity and credit monitoring. This incident is part of a series of major health data breaches reported in recent months, highlighting the vulnerability of radiology practices to cyberattacks. Two federal contractors, Guidehouse Incorporated and Nan McKay and Associates, paid $11.3 million in penalties for failing to properly test the cybersecurity of a financial assistance system for low-income individuals in New York during the COVID-19 pandemic. The DOJ stated that the contractors violated the False Claims Act by misrepresenting their service quality. Guidehouse paid $7.6 million and Nan McKay paid $3.7 million. The system, launched in June of 2021, was shut down 12 hours later due to compromised applicant data. Guidehouse admitted to using unauthorized third-party data storage. The settlement is part of the Biden administration's cyber fraud initiative aimed at holding entities accountable for risking sensitive information. The case began with a whistleblower from Guidehouse. The ransomware group Black Suit published hundreds of stolen files from the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department after the department refused to pay a ransom. Brett Callow, a threat analyst, noted that Black Suit listed KCKPD on its leak site, releasing sensitive files dating back to 2016, including drone pics, evidence room, and finance. Black Suit claimed KCKPD voluntarily agreed to make their case files public. Callow emphasized that paying ransom often doesn't guarantee data destruction, as criminals frequently break promises. He suspects Black Suit is a rebranding of the Royal Conti Group. Similar ransomware attacks have targeted other law enforcement agencies, such as Wichita County Mounted Patrol, highlighting the risks of interconnectivity in law enforcement data systems. Coming up after the break on our Learning Layer segment, Sam Meisenberg and Joe Carrigan continue their discussion of Joe's ISC2 CISSP certification journey. Stay with us. Struggling to secure on-prem apps with modern identity? Don't worry, you're not alone. Join industry leaders from Fortune 500 organizations to secure your apps on any cloud with any IDP, regardless of your environment's complexity. Meet Strata's identity orchestration platform, Mavericks. Say goodbye to the headaches of app refactoring and legacy tech debt. With identity orchestration, you can modernize legacy apps to use MFA or passwordless authentication in a few weeks, migrate from one IDP to another, and so much more without changing the app. No matter your IAM use case, Strata extends the value of your current identity investments. And the best part? You can try it for free today. Visit strata.io/cyberwire to share your biggest identity challenge, and they'll hook you up with a complimentary pair of AirPods Pro. Don't miss out. Visit strata.io/cyberwire. That's strata.io/cyberwire. And now, a word from our sponsor, Zscaler, the leader in cloud security. Cyber attackers are using AI in creative ways to compromise users and breach organizations. In a security landscape where you must fight AI with AI, the best AI protection comes from having the best data. Zscaler has extended its zero-trust architecture with powerful AI engines that are trained and tuned by 500 trillion daily signals. Learn more about Zscaler Zero Trust Plus AI to prevent ransomware and AI attacks. Experience your world secured. Visit zscaler.com/zerotrustai. On today's Learning Layers segment, host Sam Meisenberg is joined by my Hacking Humans co-host Joe Carrigan as they continue their discussion of Joe's ISC2 CISSP certification journey.
Welcome back to the Learning Layer segment. We are continuing our conversation with Joe Carrigan as he gets ready for his CISSP exam. Joe?
Yeah?
We finished Domain 8,
Domain
8 of 8.
That's correct. They're all done now.
Now you have the exam scheduled, so we're, maybe about 2 weeks away.
Right.
I guess the big question is, what to do next? How are you going to fill those 2 weeks? So before I offer...
I'm going to watch TV and play video games.
Exactly. Before I offer some ideas based on my experience of working with a lot of students and seeing what's worked, why don't you tell me your plan? What are you thinking?
So what I've started doing already is I've been leveraging the QBank in the tool. And I have identified that there are two domains where I need to go back in and do a little more boning up, if you will.
Okay. Now, before we get there, though, I'm curious, how did you use the QBank to find that out? Did you do questions, across all 8 domains, or did you go domain by domain and create smaller quizzes?
I started by going, I did a all 8 domain quiz, and I got a 70 on that.
How many questions?
It was 40 questions.
Okay.
I got a 70 on that, and I was like, well, and I looked through, and it seemed like every time that I got an answer wrong, it was coming from one of these 2 domains. Either domain 3, which is security, architecture, and engineering, which has a lot of different memorization about different models that, frankly, were new to me. And then security operations, domain 7, which I'm not sure why that one is presenting a problem, but it is.
Sure.
So the next thing I did was I took a test just on those 2 domains.
Okay.
Just a quick 20-question test on those 2 domains.
Was this after you had studied some content, or after you took the original 40-question quiz, you took basically another one?
I took another one right after the original 40-question quiz because I wanted to see if this was correct. And the shocking thing was, I got a 50% on that quiz.
Okay.
I was like, okay.
How many questions?
So this was only 20 questions.
Okay.
So then, just to make sure that that's what I did, I took the other 6 domains in the quiz and got 80% on that.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right,
real data.
I think I have clearly identified
Great.
2 weak spots in my knowledge. That's where I'm going to focus on for the next couple of days. And then I'm going to get these domains up into, up to a higher knowledge level, higher retention level, then take another test. And then I will take the computer adaptive test and continue to study for the exam over the course of the next week and a half or so.
Great. So if I could say this back to you and also just comment on one thing I think you did really well, the home stretch, this 10 days, whatever it is, 2 weeks, that is for shoring up any weak areas. So step 1, as you did, is identify where you need to study.
Right.
And the flow or the structure should be start with your weaknesses, because it gives you time now. You're not, panicking because you're not a couple days away from the exam. You're not cramming. You take the time you need to actually learn the information. And then when you get closer to exam day, you can re-up or resure the strengths. And that's important. And I like that order because it's going to help you walk into test day with confidence. If you shore up on the strengths right before, that is a nice reminder, even the psychological, that, I know my stuff. I know this, which is what you need to do to execute well on test day.
Right.
So I like the flow.
Okay.
Start with the weaknesses, spend as much time as you need there, end with the strengths.
Excellent. Well, that's what I'm doing, Sam.
Excellent. I have one other idea that you could do. And again, I don't want to disrupt your flow. It sounds like it's working.
I would love to hear the other idea.
So at some point too, you need to zoom out a little bit.
Right.
So we've talked about this concept of the CISSP especially it's a tough exam because it's both about the individual trees, but it's also about the forest. And I really do think most of the questions are kind of the forest level questions. So what I mean by that is I think you need to get a higher level understanding of each of the domains and try to understand how they all fit together, right? And the course comes with domain review videos. So those are maybe half hour per domain.
Yep.
And they are basically just the most important testable stuff within the domain. So that's kind of one nice way to summarize all the most important content. So that's one option.
I haven't looked at those yet, but I have seen them.
There you go.
I planned on watching them, yes.
Great. The other thing that's a good, helpful zoom out is at the end of the textbook, I think they're called chapter summaries or something.
Right.
And it's just a list. It's literally just a list of all the most important stuff from each of the chapters, which, put all of them together, correspond to the 8 domains. My point is, something you could do is just watch the domain summary videos. Anything that you don't know, that's a helpful thing to say, I need to go and study this. Read the chapter summaries. This is weird. I haven't heard of this and it's really important. Let me go study that. And I kind of like those a little bit better because you're not necessarily using questions to get that data about yourself. You're using most of a gut feel. It's do I know this or not? And in some weird ways, that can be as useful as doing questions.
Cool. Well, I'll do all those things.
And then
because I want to pass this test on the first time I take it.
You will. I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
I've seen all the work you've been putting in over all this time. I know the background. I know what you got on your diagnostic. I know your scores. So if I were a betting man, I'd put a lot of money on you on you passing.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, good luck on the home stretch. We'll talk next week, and we'll actually dive a little bit more into the CAT, and I'll get you prepared for the practice test, and then obviously the real thing in a couple weeks.
That's Sam Meisenberg, joined by Joe Carrigan. The IT world used to be simpler. You only had to secure and manage environments that you controlled. Then came new technologies and new ways to work. Now, employees, apps, and networks are everywhere. This means poor visibility, security gaps, and added risk. That's why Cloudflare created the first-ever connectivity cloud. Visit cloudflare.com to protect your business everywhere you do business.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Forget the frustration of picking commerce platforms when you switch your business to Shopify, the global commerce platform that supercharges your selling wherever you sell. With Shopify, you'll harness the same intuitive features, trusted apps, and powerful analytics used by the world's leading brands. Sign up today for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/tech, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/tech.
And finally, Arvind Mittal, the esteemed professor at MIT, passed away on June 17th at the age of 77. Known simply as Arvind, he was a cherished member of the MIT community, inspiring many with his brilliance and zest for life. Arvind's pioneering research in data flow computing and parallel processing left an indelible mark on the field. His work not only improved computational efficiency, but also revolutionized digital hardware design. Arvind's legacy includes developing influential tools and languages like ID, PH, and BlueSpec, and founding companies such as Sandburst and BlueSpec Incorporated. Throughout his nearly 5-decade tenure at MIT, Arvind was a dedicated mentor and leader, deeply committed to academic excellence. His infectious positivity, hearty laugh, and unwavering generosity brightened the lives of colleagues and students alike. Arvind's influence extended beyond MIT, advising governments and universities worldwide. His accolades included membership in the National Academy of Engineering and the American Academy of Arts and Sciences. Arvind believed in the joy of discovery, emphasizing that true scientific pursuit comes from a passion for knowledge. He is survived by his wife, 2 sons, and 2 grandchildren. Arvind's legacy of kindness, wisdom, and groundbreaking research will be fondly remembered by all who had the privilege of knowing him. And that's the Cyberwire. For links to all of today's stories, check out our daily briefing at thecyberwire.com. We'd love to know what you think of this podcast. Your feedback ensures we deliver the insights that keep you a step ahead in the rapidly changing world of cybersecurity. If you like our show, please share a rating and review in your favorite podcast app. Please also fill out the survey in the show notes or send an email to cyberwire@n2k.com. We're privileged that N2K Cyberwire is part of the daily routine of the most influential leaders and operators in the public and private sector, from the Fortune 500 to many of the world's preeminent intelligence and law enforcement agencies. N2K makes it easy for companies to optimize your biggest investment, your people. We make you smarter about your teams while making your teams smarter. Learn how at n2k.com. This episode was produced by Liz Stokes. Our mixer is Trey Hester, with original music and sound design by Elliot Peltzman. Our executive producer is Jennifer Eiben. Our executive editor is Brandon Karp. Simone Petrella is our president, Peter Kilpie is our publisher, and I'm Dave Bittner. Thanks for listening. We'll see you back here tomorrow. This September 18th and 19th in Denver, a tight community of leading experts is gathering to tackle the toughest cybersecurity challenges we face. It's happening at MWise, the unique conference built by practitioners for practitioners. Brought to you by Mandiant, now part of Google Cloud, MWise features one-to-one access with industry experts and fresh insights into the topics that matter most, right now, to frontline practitioners. Register early and save at mwise.io/cyberwire. That's mwise.io/cyberwire.